Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to The Last of Us Reviews, Season 2, Episode 2. I'm the hole-in-one Travis Snell, and I'm joined by...
I'm the golfer, Kirkland Patzer.
Yes, we are here to talk about Last of Us. It's just me and Kirk tonight. Taylor is still recovering from his injuries, I guess. Dylan's got family dinner, and a whole bunch of weird scheduling and whatnot because of Easter and wrestling. And luckily, didn't think I was gonna be able to make it. Can make it now because wrestling was shorter tonight, which was nice on me and the boys. But check out that. Me and the boys on the gimmick just reviewed the 2 nights WrestleMania. This week, me, Taylor, and Kirkland, we got Andor coming up, buddy. You ready for that?
Oh yeah, talking about late
3 hour
nights.
blog, so I'm not ready for that. But we got that coming up. Check out just this past week, me and Kirkland, funny enough, reviewed Sinners. That was really good conversation and fun checking the Discord, seeing other people's reviews and that. And then obviously Weekly Geek, Side Quest, all that good stuff. Lots of stuff always popping off. And then next week, I guess 6 days away, we have our next After 9 movie watch along. We're gonna be watching. Oh my god, what the hell? Top Secret. It's a little later. Yeah, Top Secret. First time for you guys. We got 6 slots. Come join the Phase 2 tier or up. You can get that and call in, and we're gonna honor Val Kilmer. Along with that, you can get this episode and many episodes ad free. You can get exclusive episodes, early episodes, the whole shebang. And then also for our GV 10-year day, we're gonna be doing a Golden Geeks like we did last year. You can vote on that coming up on Monday. There will be a poll, so there's a couple ones. I think there's like one in the 80s, one in the 90s. So I'm curious to see how this vote goes, especially those years where I haven't seen as many like continually. But lots of stuff on Patreon. A big shout out to the Patreon producers who get every single thing, especially some other stuff. Aaron Braden, April Darkness, Jack Grant, Sam, Superman, Mike, God Loves Me 69, and Jeremy Renner and Charlie Randell. Thank you very much. And we're going to get into it. So as always, non-spoiler thoughts up top. We'll break it down and then we'll give it a little break, so you know if you want to bow out, come back and talk some spoilers and stuff. So Mr. Pats, I have a feeling we're not going to have a long non-spoilers discussion because I feel like this episode's tough to dance around. But what do you want to say? What you can non-spoilers?
Non-spoiler wise, I think this was just a stellar episode. This the really like big HBO, budget showcase episode, and I was definitely satisfied with what we got visually. I think it was just a really, really good looking episode. Just the way that, like they crafted a lot of just the certain shots in this episode, I was just so amazed by. Reminding me of some legendary sequences of the past, as I speak in riddles here. But no, I think this episode was a big follow-up slugger of a hit compared to last week. I think last week I had a lot of just questions and uncertainties, especially just looking at it as a 1 episode drop. I think, HBO will never do it, but I think I definitely would have been happy with a episode 1-2 drop all at once, just to, I don't know, this just feels like a more complete package now. It was I really don't have much more to say beyond that, non-spoiler wise here. So, yeah, I think I'll just pass the baton to you there, and I'll say nothing else.
I'm excited to talk about this episode because there's stuff that I was waiting to talk about, and there's still, I'm not going to go into full spoiler mode for the rest of the game, but there's certain things that happen in this episode that are really the kickoff to what happens in the second game, and then it's like, okay, now we can talk a bit more about differences of the show and the game and kind of the context of what's going on. Again, very well made show, well crafted show, very well acted show. As always, these people just deliver tenfold. And there's a big sequence that I'm not as big as fan. I'm interested to talk to other game people because I saw Mike in our Discord. He had no problems with it. Me, I had some issues with it. Nothing again that it's not even nitpicky. It's just that it's tough when it's just, I don't know, if you like 2 flavors of ice cream, there's still one you're going to like more, right? And if it's like, oh, I like this because, or I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a pizza topping or something, but it's just tough because it's like you like both of them, but there's one that you like more. And if you go, oh, but this is the way I'm making it, it's like, yeah, I know you're making it this way, but I still prefer it that way. And it's always tough because it's a different medium, but at the same time, there's things here that I thought that they still could have done that I preferred in the other medium. But I don't think we'll talk about it with you, and we'll get Dylan. And I think Dylan might knew some of the big stuff going on here. We'll get Taylor's thoughts next week as far as the juxtaposition where you guys are as a video game not player, so or non-video game player. I don't know why I said video game not player of just Last of Us specifically. I'm not like shitting on their skills or anything. They don't play video games, but yeah, that's what I love the show about, to see these full-on adaptions to go from there. But yeah, I think it's very well made, and it hits with a big moment. And there's certain things that aren't in the game that I say that I did enjoy even more, as far as some imagery going on. So yeah, I got nothing more to say non-spoilers wise. You got anything?
No, I got absolutely nothing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So if you've not seen the episode and you've not played the games, definitely do not go for it if you have any interest. We're going to get into some big spoilers. So we're going to take this ad break, and then we'll be right back. And we're back. So, Kirkland, tonight was a very tough night for your boy because, WrestleMania tonight. I had to watch my guy, Cody Rhodes, lose the championship tonight. So that was tough after a year-long reign. And then here I am again. As I've said, we're in spoilers. Had to watch Joel Miller get killed a fucking second time, in a brutal, awful
What?
way.
That happens in the game? Oh, I thought that was a deviation.
Yeah, it's DLC. But yeah, I'm going to start with you because you had you heard any inkling of this before?
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't know
think,
that. Okay.
I think just leading up to, I think it was even just after like season 1 finished. I was just seeing like online posts or like memes and people just being like, "Oh, I'm not ready for season 2 because I'm gonna have to relive this moment." And like, I never saw an image of like a dead Joel or anything, but like who else could that really be? Like really, I know Ellie is like the main character of part 2.
Yeah.
Joel's really not he really wasn't on like any marketing material, I feel, for at least what I saw around Last of Us Part 2, like the video game at least. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention to it, but yeah, I'm not a good detective, but I feel like that was the world's worst kept secret leading into it. Now, it didn't like help the moment at all, especially me. I honestly thought he was going to be a part of like majority of the season. I obviously didn't think he was going to be making it out the whole thing, but yeah, to have that happen in episode 2, especially with it already being like a very this is like you could do one episode just on like the battle of the town, and like that's a good ass episode, like I would have been pretty happy with that. But pairing this massive character moment that's like, we went on this whole journey with the entire season 1, people that played the game, like that whole adventure, to here we are, second episode in season 2, and we're just killing off this character. And I am curious if we're going to be getting like more Pedro, like just with flashbacks and stuff like that. I don't know if that's like a game thing that happens, if Ellie interacts with them post-mortem. Post-mortem.
Mortem. Not a modem. Not have that,
But yeah, no, this was a really, really big moment. I think they did just a stellar job of building the tension. And like, I have no idea how it happens in the video game or anything like that, but I think how they did it here was really good. It honestly, it's funny that it's HBO. It reminded me of like a Game of Thrones moment when like I know something absolutely horrible is gonna happen, and I'm like, oh, don't let it happen. No, like I'm like so mad that it's happening. But I tip my hat because it's just well crafted, and they're provoking that emotion out of me, so I know that they're doing something right. And yeah, it was a gut punch moment. So yeah, rest in peace, Joel Miller. And
How do you know
Abby.
No.
Abby is the new bad guy.
See, that's what I want to ask you about, the new bad guy thing, right? So there's multiple things about this that I'm curious, Barbosa, that I'm curious about. So in the game, what happens is like for cutscenes, he dies. Yeah, it's about like 32 minutes in, so it happens right away in the game. Like you got gameplay in between of you walk around as Ellie, but it's very early on. I'm pretty sure the first time you see Joel, I can't remember if the dance happens or not. I'd have to go back, but it's either one of the first time or the first time is when he saves Abby. And at this point, you just know Abby and Owen and the team are looking for something. They see the city. But in the game, nothing about her being like that's her dad there. Nothing about Joel killing the Fireflies. Nothing. It's just this is a random group of survivors heading their way and stuff like that. So they save Abby. That whole scene plays the same way. They go to the cabin, and then they say Joel has some line like, "Oh, you guys seem like you know us," because actually in the game it's Joel and Tommy. It's not Joel and Dina.
Mm.
So, and what happens, and just little changes, but like they beat the shit out of Tommy and knock him out instead of this very convoluted like, "I have this needle, I'll knock her out for 1 hour." I won't kill. I was like, just
A little
not,
fuzzy, yeah.
just hit her with a gun and
Yeah,
that's it.
exactly.
Like, why do you even do that? But that's one thing I will say that in the game, other than I'd say Owen, most of the group's a lot more like, yeah, fuck, like let's get Joel. Where this, they made it more, they're a little iffy about it.
Mm.
And then the game, same thing. He turns around, he gets shot. They tourniquet his leg, and she just says something like, "Oh, you know why I'm here?" And he just says, "Ah, get to your fucking speech." And then he says, "Do say the speech you've been rehearsing, and then get it over with." And then she gets the club, and then she says, like not, it's not gonna be slow, old man, you stupid old man. Hits him, and then they cut to Ellie getting there, and then when they get there, Joel's pretty much already dead. She hits him in the head with the golf club, just killing him instead of stabbing him in the neck, and then it's kind of over. So in the game, it's very almost quick. It's like within 5 minutes. Where in this, it's like this very long, drawn out, like Abby's giving her whole backstory. So one, I just felt kind of like, I guess to go back what I was trying to hint about last week, I much preferred not knowing Abby is gonna do this. I loved in the game of you just meet this girl and then all of a sudden she's just fucking killing Joel. And even when they kill Joel, you never hear, like, you don't get to hear that side of the story. You never know why they killed Joel for a while. And then later on in the game, they get to a point where Abby, like something happens, I won't say, but something happens with Abby. And then what happens is in the game, you're playing as Ellie and you switch over and play as Abby because you go all the way back 5 years and you play as Abby. And then they reveal, oh, fuck, this is this was her dad is who Joel killed. So you don't
Mm.
find out till like halfway through the game Abby's motivations. So one, I just liked that better. Just like I thought it was just weird to open up with Last of Us, like I'm gonna kill Joel, and then the next episode like she kills Joel. Like it just kind of like it streamlines it. So I feel like obviously it's different for you because you had an idea. So I wonder how people had zero idea. I don't know if Taylor did, but like I just like that idea of the shock and awe better. And then two.
Mm-hmm.
With it being so drawn out, and she does like say that in the game, like, "Hey, I'm not gonna make it like it's gonna be slow." But in the game, it's one hit, and then they cut to Ellie find him and he's dying on the ground, then hit in the head. With this, because you said she's the new villain, and I agree with you. I thought in the video games they made her more sympathetic because at first they make her the villain, and then you find out like, man, Joel killed her dad and all her friends. I feel kind of bad about this, and the torture's not on screen. But I feel like with this pacing and laws, like she hits his head or hits his leg like 5 times with the club. There's just a scene of her beating on his head. Where in the game, like some of that stuff happens, but it's all off screen. I feel like they've made her not really sympathetic at all. Like I feel like because me and Emily had seen me play a game, same thing. She's like, "Oh, I just want Ellie to kill Abby." Where in the game, it's supposed to make you feel more like iffy about it because like, oh, like Abby also went through this trauma, so why should I want this? But I felt like
Yeah.
they made her too villainish in a way, and she shouldn't be, right? Because technically Joel did kill innocent people and her dad, but for me it was the pacing of the scene and how long it was. And the pacing of how Abby's reveal was done. I didn't love it as much as the game because I just thought they've made her less sympathetic, and I feel like now everybody in the world, it felt like a Negan Walking Dead thing where I feel like you ask most people, they're gonna be like, yeah, I want Ellie just to fucking destroy Abby. Where
Yeah.
it's like you're supposed to feel conflicted. So for me, that was my perspective. Scene wise, all great. Deaver was great in that scene, like her controlling her speech.
Mm-hmm.
Pedro's good too because he doesn't get to do much. He's just reacting. But and even all the other people, the side people, that I always never know how to pronounce her name, but like Tata, that girl from You, like she had some good facials. So the scene
Little
itself.
Falcon.
What? Yeah, I thought you meant that was her last. I'm like, her name's not Tata Falcon. I know, not Miss
No, Little
Falcon.
Falcon, man.
Yeah, Little Falcon. But so yeah, I still thought the scene was good and very well done and very brutal. The two add-ins I like is that they, in the game, when they kick Ellie, that knocks her out. So instead of her being like, she's alive for when Joel gets a killing blow, but they knock her out. So I loved it when she crawled over and laid on him. That was like a add-on. That was like great imagery of just her lying on this dead body. And then that last shot of the montage of Dina, her, and I can never remember the ex-boyfriend's name, but they had the horse, and you just see Ellie look back, and you're like, oh, did they leave him there? And then they pan out, it's like, no, they're dragging this dead body, and it's like, oh, I got chills now. So again, not taking it down like, oh, this is shit. It's just had some preferences, but they also
Yeah.
added some really cool things to it, or morbidly cool things. So
Yeah, no, I think the scene was really well done, but I don't think they succeeded in, and maybe they weren't trying to do it. I would hope they were trying to do it, but I feel like they didn't do a good enough job at making us, yeah, feel sympathetic towards Abby. Like at least enough. Like they, I feel like do the absolute bare minimum. I feel like it's really on like Caitlin Deaver's like acting that's like selling me on it
Yes.
the most because she shows so much emotion and like pain over this murderer that just came in and like shot up 18 people that yeah like I'm assuming they knew them pretty well, let alone her father who was just an unarmed doctor. So I think it's like okay, that's the little piece right there that I should be latching onto, but I don't think they I was gonna say I don't think they evolved upon that enough. I'm assuming that'll come later on in the season
Of
when
which
we get
piece again?
more
Sorry.
just like the trauma I think that Abby kind of like witnessed that made her this way. But
A
I
little
feel like
bit.
her
Yeah,
I feel
because they
like her
already
just
did
like
that.
psycho
When,
tendencies are like overweighing it though. On like the fact that she just straight up like tortured this person. Like it's one
yeah.
thing to just kill someone for revenge, like you know whatever. I mean, not whatever. There's laws in place, but in this world,
In this world, it's whatever.
I get
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's what it's whatever. It's an eye for an eye, but yeah, they like straight up torture them, especially that like this guy's like whole city is just being like raided by zombies right now, and like probably everyone that he like knows and loves is just getting eaten alive from his like point of view, like he's
Yeah.
rushing to go save them, and like he's just getting tortured up on this hilltop where like thinking about the pain that he's in, and then also all of his loved ones that could be just getting murked. So it just added to like yeah like the nefarious nature to everything that was going on. So I think it's like a very one-sided Abby's a bad guy, at least with how it's done in the show.
Yep.
That's my take on it.
And in the game, their city's not being attacked. It's just they're out on a run and everything like
Mm.
that. So that's something that's different, and that's something where it's like that felt like okay for like you said, very Game of Thrones, HBO, big battle. Like we're gonna have this big invasion. So
Yeah.
be curious what they do after the fact. I wonder if they're gonna make it that that's how Ellie goes alone to go do some hunting because they're like, oh, well, our town is rotten, so we can't go help you, Ellie. But in the game, I think she just pieces off like, hey, I'm gonna go figure some stuff out and everything. But yeah, it's interesting, and like like that scene that they had her when she was like her young self was talking to her old self. That happens in the game, but that's just literally the flashback of when you play as Abby and you play that day when you find out and you
Hmm.
see your dad dead and everything like that. So they will touch upon it again, but that's the thing where the game, yeah, they don't lay it out. You play as Ellie for a bit, and then the halfway point you switch to Abby, and it's a long trek, but you literally play like those not like 5 years worth, but you play the 5 years out as Abby. There's some time skips, but and yeah, you don't play as Ellie for like a good 20 hours after. It's just you're all Abby and stuff, which I did not like because I'm not a big prequel guy. So it's like I understood the point what they were going for in that game, and I thought they almost overdid it. Of like, okay, I get it. Like Joel's a bad guy, I understand. Like, but yeah. So but there is stuff that you will see with Joel still. So I think that's how they can cheat and stealth Pedro. That there is flashbacks coming up. There's still some unresolved stuff. So you will have that. So
Nice.
yeah. So yeah, I didn't think he was actually gonna. I had a feeling just with the way things were going, but I was wondering if it was going to last longer, Joe. Like when they add the therapist and some other stuff. Like there's another episode, right? There we got that rumor of that one-off episode about the therapist and her husband that he supposedly
Eugene.
killed. Eugene, yeah, like he'll be back for that. So you got that stuff. But yeah, I actually thought it was gonna happen last week and it didn't. So I was really worried I was gonna have to spend a whole season just bouncing around this fucking Abby Joel
Yeah.
thing, you know. So
Yeah, no, it's even for me that didn't witness it in the video game, like because I knew it was coming, the best place to do it is probably early on the show because I'm just gonna
yes.
be like, oh, we're getting closer to it, we're getting closer to it, and then people like you that have played it are gonna be just, as you said, dancing around the spoilers.
Plus, the
the
people that
whole
have
time.
no idea gives them more chance to accidentally be spoiled via like
Yeah,
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook
100%.
of like, oh, what episode do you think Joel will die? And be like,
Yeah.
Joel's gonna die? What do you mean? Like, that's
And
not good.
and it really was a like a just excellently done scene, like when Abby is running away from the zombies, just great. Yeah, everything about it was so fantastic. The way she's like crawling like behind that fence, there's just so much like tension with them like breaking through the fence and just like almost getting her to finally getting away. And at first I thought it was yeah, I don't remember his name either, but the the guy that went out on watch with Ellie, like I thought that was the one that saved them, and then I thought it was gonna be Ellie, like with him, like the one finding Abby before Joel. But yeah, as soon as I saw Joel there, I'm like, oh my god, I forgot he's actually on patrol right now. Like this
Yeah.
is horrible. There's no way he's making it back to the town. And then yeah, I don't know. I thought they were gonna like capture him and then just have a little bit more time with it, but they got right to it. That's why they were
Yeah.
there, right? That's their whole mission. And then Abby's whole like force was pretty much just trying to convince her, like they admitted it, trying to convince her that we should just drop this mission and go back. But they got a golden egg.
I got an idea. Like I can't remember how I got Abby out of there. It's like, oh, whatever, go for a walk. And, okay, I'll do that. And then they're like, what's your idea? It's like, my idea is I'm gonna get her not to do it. I'm just like, couldn't you have not done this like before we left? If I was that person, I'd be like, couldn't you have done this before we left? Like we've fucking hiked miles. So it's like, at this point, it's like, no, let's just kill him. So no one has
Yeah.
second. Obviously, because the city and everything, I get that's why it's the second thoughts, right? Because it's like, how can we pull this off? And just a coincidence that Joel happens to be out there on patrol, but not the smartest of plan. And yeah, same thing in the game. They meet like everybody out there in the wild. It's not just like Abby bringing them back. They bump into the mall and stuff. So a little bit different. Not that you need that happening because I'm sure they don't want to pay for all the fucking horses and hope that they, all work and everything. But yeah, no. There's some point I was gonna make, but no, that's one thing with Abby too. That's where the other thing when you play through her, you get to see her as like the young little girl, and that's why when they start doing some time jumps, you see her like getting bigger and bigger because that's her idea is she's training herself to be a fucking weapon. So when she finds this guy, she's just gonna destroy him. And I still wish we had a bulking actress or something like that, but I digress.
Yeah. She didn't need the muscles, it's just all in the technique with those golf swings.
Yeah, it's not about the size of the club. It's all about the size of the heart and the swinger,
That's right. Yeah, and then I think another thing that I'm hoping I'll just enjoy more is, well, I guess the Abby character. I don't have much with her right now, but mostly just like her crew around her, because as we were kind of just alluding to there, is like I feel like, yeah, like if I'm in her crew, like I need a little bit more than this is just a revenge mission to go murder this guy. And like the logistics of how it's all gonna work, like, okay, like why are we doing this again? Like I feel like all of us could die.
Well, they lost some friends too, like there, but I agree
but like
with you.
she's the only one that feels like this is the vendetta mission. Like we're gonna fucking all of us are gonna die, or we're gonna win. And like I just feel like at most maybe like Little Falcon, like that character is like to the level of like extreme. Like he gets a little heated when Ellie slashes up his face. He wants to just kick the shit out of her. But like I feel like every other character there, like you have like the nurse lady that just seems like so timid and like does not want violence at all. She's like bawling her eyes out when Abby's just going to town on Joel. But I guess I just need a little bit more like Firefly stuff, but
You'll get it. You'll definitely get it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that's why, because especially they've said that the game is gonna be split into two parts. There's like another point in the second game they could kind of maybe have like a cliffhanger ending and whatnot. So there's lots of I don't know how they're necessarily gonna tell the story, because like I said, that's what happens where you start from Ellie in present day, Joel gets killed, stuff happens, and then they switch over to Abby, and then you go back and you play from Abby until all the way she gets back to that big point. So I'm not sure if how they're gonna riddle the flashbacks out, because I understand you could, and I do agree with people, you couldn't do that the same way of the TV show of just completely go back. I just think there are certain ways you could have withheld Abby's story until now, and then like to me even like one episode to tell Abby's story. Like we get all the time episodes of just like, here's a character episode, right? Well, I feel like we just reviewed a show recently that had that, didn't it? That we enjoyed. It's not Daredevil. I thought there was something within last year, but I digress. I don't want to take too much time thinking about it, but I enjoy shows
Batman?
that can't. What was
Penguin?
it?
I was thinking Penguin, but I'm
I
just trying to think of what
so,
we reviewed. There's so many things that
Yeah.
just meld together.
And I thought maybe it was a Disney thing. I don't know, but I can enjoy an episode, and that's where it's like if you were to do all those Abby flashbacks or whatnot in one episode and tell that like to me it would be you kill her all, you kill them right here, and then I feel like we just talked about this. Fuck. I'm trying to think what it is, but you kill Joel off here, and then the next episode is like the Abby flashback where you completely see things from her side of point of view, like reveal Joel's the killer of her dad, other stuff, her relationship with Owen and these others and how it plays into. So, but I guess they're maybe just gonna sprinkle them or just constantly flashback. I don't know. That's what's gonna be interesting. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on Joel and Pedro, but
Yeah. The other thing that I think I was just a little bit confused on my where my emotions are at in this moment is like I just don't know all of the like the players in play that like are affected by this other than just like Joel, like immediate people around him, like the Tommies of the world. I think it was also just weird for me because I was wanting like another scene between Ellie and Joel, but before this moment happened, I guess that just doubles down on how horrifying it is because like they weren't in a good place, and then now they'll just never have an opportunity to kind of like pave that way. Just whatever I'm trying to say.
yeah.
So I think it was just great performances there, but I'm just want to know what happens now. Like, are we going to be hunting down Abby now? Is this going to be just like, a never-ending you murder me, I murder you, and then I'm going to murder the next person, and then you're going to murder the next person? Like where does this end? And they're kind of situated in Seattle. Is that what they said? The militia team that they're with?
She's like, oh, you can come to Seattle, but I doubt you're going to make it there. It's like, well, shit, you're about to kill me. I get it.
Yeah. And then where's our team right now? Like I feel like we're pretty far from that, aren't we?
What team?
Jackson. Is that what it's called? The town?
Oh, you mean like from Seattle to like Jackson? Yeah, I feel like that's a far. I don't know for sure, but I feel
Where's
like
Jackson? Like what even is it? Like what state are they in?
I don't know.
We don't know. Okay.
No,
You played the game. I assumed you would know.
I literally, Emily said we have to go vote at Parkinson Rec Center, and I said, "What's that?" And she's like, "You've lived here 20 years longer than me. How do you not know?" I'm like, I'm bad with geography, so let's see, Jackson.
I'm asking too many questions. But like, I don't know if it's probably not a fictitious world, I guess. Wyoming.
So it's in Wyoming. So let's go Wyoming to Seattle. Let's see drive time. That's a 15-hour drive, and I don't think cars work as much. So
Abby and team were just marching this whole way, and then they're like, "Okay, we got to convince her that we're going to go back."
So
that's
15 hours drive time converted to walking. Let's see.
Can you just click a little pedestrian on like Google Maps?
I don't think that's going to give me that there. I'm on. Let me take a look here. Oh, maybe there is drive. No, it's not doing that.
I guess that wouldn't be a common option. So.
Well, yeah, there's not many people walking to. But there is. Okay, here you go.
Popular walking routes.
So if you cycle, that's 4 days.
Okay.
So do you think what's comparable?
They weren't cycling. It's like snow time, and they're in the winter.
Well, right, they were walking. But I'm gonna say for Ellie and crew, if they were to go to Seattle, do you think horseback and cycling equal to be about the same thing?
Because like cycling wouldn't be like all terrain like a horse would. So cycling might be more because you have to go like a more general route.
Right, because there's some stuff you can't go through where a horse. You could cut through some stuff.
Oh,
so, but so walking distance is an estimated 16 days. So pretty much a day for an hour. Like when it said 15-hour drive. It's a day for now. Yeah, that way. So that's actually not like don't get me wrong. If you're telling me, hey, Travis, you got to walk to, see you out of Wyoming right now, I'd be like, oh, that's awful. But in the post-apocalyptic, I'm out for revenge. If you like, 16 days, 2 weeks, I can do that to go kill the guy that killed my dad, But then going back still, yeah. But yeah, that's what? Not 2 weeks and 2 days. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Go kill your father's killer.
Another thing that I forgot to mention that I don't think it helped my my being in Abby's camp here is I also just think that the way that the scene is played out in season 1 with the Fireflies like taking Ellie and it being like they're just gonna it's like a really like dark sequence that I feel like in that moment they are just kind of enemies, to the viewer's eyes, like through Joel's eyes.
They're trying to save the world, Kirkland. Her blood could save everybody, though.
I know. I'm just saying that the way that scene plays out, I never feel like, oh my god, he's just murdering civilians here. Like this is like we have to save Ellie. Like that's the goal. So I think I'm just carrying that into season 2, and then I see the moment where they're like revenging these characters that I thought were just the enemy from last season. So I don't know. It's I guess there's probably something there for maybe how Ellie's angry about stuff that's going on. Especially
we know where
with
Kirkland would align in real life. If it comes back to something like, well, they weren't innocent.
Captured Travis, and they said that they weren't gonna, hurt you, and then I say that you.
But then would you feel bad if I woke up and said like, yeah, you should have killed me? I should have had gave everyone the cure.
Maybe, but like, let me
Yeah.
live with that decision at
Okay.
that point, you know?
We'll cross that bridge when that happens, when I get kidnapped at some point. So it's good to know. Yeah, I don't think about it because it's an awkward situation. It's like like if you're telling me if I'm in the post-apocalyptic situation and one of my just even kids get kidnapped, it's like, hey, we got to kill them for this thing. And again, it's not like I guarantee it's gonna work, but it could work. It's like, yeah, that's a tough pickle
Yeah.
to put yourself into. So, yeah. Yeah, let's take we'll take an ad break. We won't take one yet because I don't know how long we're gonna talk more about the other town stuff. But anything more on Joel and Abby and the team? They were walking back at the end, all successful mission, you know.
Yeah. Not a lot for Dina in this episode. I'm
Yeah, which
interested
is
in
weird
kind
because
of
they
how.
put her on the mission. Like I said in the game, it's Tommy with them. So,
And Dina is a character, right, from the game?
oh yeah, the
We
same
talked
thing.
about
Like
that.
they're
Okay.
in love, like or falling
Okay.
in love and stuff like that. So,
I see.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm just interested in kind of how she's gonna take this, because like I imagine she knows Joel's dead. Like everyone was there, they buried him. Well, not buried him, they wrapped him, and now they're dragging
yeah,
him back into town. But we just
tough way to
haven't
wake up.
had her say anything since that moment. So yeah, I'm intrigued on how that dynamic's gonna go, and I think I'm just really interested in Ellie now, because like
Mm.
last week's episode, it was just okay. She's just moody or just angry at Joel for some reason. We don't really know what's going on, so it's just kind of an annoying, angry teen that's mad at someone for something.
Hmm.
And now that like I don't even really have that answered, but like she's going to be a completely different character because she just witnessed this father-like character just get absolutely murdered. And we do have Ellie kind of talk a little bit about the dynamic with her and that gentleman that we never know his name. um Jesse, is that his name?
Sure.
I don't know.
I got a
I don't know if
better
it's
I get a
Jesse.
better chance to find Wyoming before I figure out Jesse's name.
Taking shots in the dark. But
Yeah.
they're just talking about like the dynamic between them. It's like, he's Joel. Like that it's always gonna be that. So there is still like not pure dead to me
Mm.
vibes from Ellie there, but I don't know. She's gonna be pretty fucked up, I think, going forward, especially with just how they ended that dynamic of the relationship. Joel didn't even get to say anything to her.
Yeah, I think you're gonna get some. I think you'll be happy with the Ellie content.
Nice.
I love. I really enjoy Ellie in the first game, but Ellie in season 2, I cemented her as one of my favorite characters because there's
Nice.
just a good journey there. And hell, I got a daughter named after this character, right? So it's one of these
Yeah.
things where there's
No
some.
Abby.
There's
You don't have any Abby children.
no, I don't get any Abby children. I still like, again, I like the Abby character. Some people despise it. I'm completely fine with it. I think it works. And I get that. Like I said, I think the show, I'm hoping there's a couple more episodes that will like just get into like, hey, this person was 14 years old and their dad was gunned down. From her perspective, just trying to save the world, right? Like you think about it in her perspective, hey, we have a chance to save everybody, get rid of these stalkers, clickers, whatever. We could maybe go back to normal if we get this operation. And then the next time you see your dad, his
True.
brains are just everywhere, right? So from her, I hope they do a better job kind of nailing that down of like all the things she could have lost in that situation. But
You said she was 14, but here she said she was 19. Is that a difference in the game?
did Abby say she was 19?
She said she was 19,
When
like
it happened?
when she discovered her dad.
Okay, then I think that she might have been younger. I feel
Okay.
like she was younger.
Unless
in
I
the
completely
game.
misinterpreted that sequence, like I'm 19, motherfucker. But that wouldn't make much sense.
Yeah. How old was Abby when father killed? Let's see what Google comes up here. Let's see. Oh God, there's a lot of too many Reddit lores and stuff like that.
It's all like up for interpretation. It like
Yeah.
isn't a solid answer.
Yeah, see, no, it was so in the game. Yeah, it was implied that Abby was around 14 to 15-year-old when her dad died. So it's funny the stuff I can't remember from the game. Like there's and the funny stuff you can't. Like I should not be able to remember that Abby was 14 to 15, but I can't remember that guy's fucking name. You know, who's like a key supporting character, but I can remember. I think just because that's in the game, they probably did that so there's not such a jump from the way Caitlin Deaver looks, because again they have her in that dream sequence where it's like younger her and older her, and I'm always still like, you guys look like you braided her hair, like there's no difference really
Yeah.
here, where in the game 14 15-year-old little girl and then 5 years later jacked woman, you know, like looking like Rhea Ripley and stuff. So that's probably why they maybe aged her up, so it's like, oh, she doesn't have to look completely different body type wise, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Totes my goats.
Anything on the town attack stuff? I enjoyed this all. Like I said, it's not in the game. I think it was good action. There's not much for me to break down of like, oh, there was like this choice and this choice. It's pretty pure and simple. Of they teased it last week of that little pipe having those little tendrils calling things out, and they came there and lots of stuff going down. Lots of I guess these ones were made the stalkers, the smart one, just going to getting some roof access. Lots of dead people in this. And I will say, like again, cinematically great. Even that time when Abby found the bodies in the like the ice, and they all woke up, that was great. It felt definitely was giving me like Game of Thrones, like the wall vibe and everything. But so yeah, there's not anything huge moments. Like we didn't lose any big characters here, but I thought this was very well done and some good tension. And I really liked the moment with Tommy and the big bloater when he had the flamethrower, and it was just like the last few pumps got him the win. So
That scene felt like it went on so long. Like it kept going
yes.
from like
Yeah.
him with the gun to the bloater, whatever it was called, and then like back to him, and then it would show his tanks, and then like back. It would cycle that like 3 times, I swear, and then it was just like PSI going down. It's like, okay, I get it. He's running low. Man, Tommy was everywhere in this battle. He was like Aragorn. He started on the wall.
Deep. Yeah.
He stormed down, picked up the flamethrower. He dealt with that, got back in the streets, like was popping off. I thought 100% sure he was gonna die in this sequence, just because he was he was just in so many situations. I assumed he was gonna get bopped at some point. I thought it was going to be him or his wife. I thought it was going to be like a really heart-wrenching sequence, but it makes sense that didn't happen because we had a massive a massive loss with the likes of Joel Miller. So it makes sense those people wouldn't be killed. I don't know if that's something true. Like, does Tommy have like a wife and everything like in the game? Like,
that's all true.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, just not this big bad, but yeah, that's I believe all true. That's tracks of in the memory log.
Yeah, so I think as someone that hasn't played the game, I think they did a really good job of just having stakes in that situation, because I thought the whole town was gonna get eaten, honestly. At a certain point, I did not think it was gonna end super well, but they were well prepared. They had a lot of defenses set up, and it was just a really well shot like battle sequence. I was definitely getting just some inklings to like the, of course, the famous Battle of Helm's Deep. Just like the different stages of the battle. Even when like the bloater like first appears and they're like, he's going for the wall breach, and I'm like, Legolas,
bring him down, bring him down.
It was just, there's some parallels there, but I mean, it's not a bad thing if you're getting compared to one of the greatest, probably the greatest siege battle of all time. So I thought they did a really good job with it. Like CGI looked good, honestly. Like there was the big bloater monster. I could tell it was CGI, but like it didn't look bad by any means. Even the dogs, like they had some close-ups that looked vicious. It looked all good. So yeah, really really well executed battle. And I don't know. I just thought it was gonna build up a little bit more too. Like there was just a lot going on in this episode. I was not expecting to get so early, but yeah, now it's got me talking, and now I can't wait for next week. So they did a good job with it.
Yeah, no, it really went to like 0 to 100 real fast. Like you had the Abby scene, then they had just the snipers looking at, and then there's just a couple in the snow, and then just just gone.
That guy's reaction too, just like what is that? And then it just like everything. It's like, man, what, like, fuck, what do we even do? What's the protocol? Good thing they had a safety meeting like that morning, so they were pretty good.
Yeah, you gotta have those safety meetings. Last week, Ellie and Dina not listening to them. That's why you have to. No. They know what they're doing there. So, but yeah, lots to rebuild and see what's going to happen there. Like I said, that's a lot going on. It's rebuild. Joel's dead, who was like I'd say one of the leaders, like of that place. And also it's going to impact Tommy and a bunch of other people. So, yeah, it's going to be something. I guess we forgot to mention before Ellie's journey. Bigot guy gave her some steak sandwiches to try and make good.
Oh, so, yeah, that guy.
I like a little back and forth. And he's like, I'm sorry, I got drunk and stuff. And she's like, yeah, I know. I know a bunch of people that get drunk and say things they don't mean. And then Tommy's like, that's enough. Just like accept the apology. But yeah, fun though. That's from the games too. I don't know if the dialogue's the exact same, but yeah, Just
It
trying, I
felt like
guess.
a side quest thing. Like it's not even a side quest. It's like a miscellaneous like interaction. Like go interact with that guy before you head back. He's like, oh, sorry
Like you
for
don't
my
have to
actions.
talk to them, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it felt like. So they did a good job at that because it felt very video gamey.
Yeah. Anything else in this episode?
Oh man, something that was bugging me in the sequence when they just had like the lines of flamethrowers. Like flamethrowers, I feel like they would be an effective weapon against zombies, but like from afar. Like I would never be like standing in a phalanx, like like a shield and a
Yeah.
spear type guy. But like you're just standing there with a flamethrower. Like yeah, I'm gonna light up a zombie, but they're not gonna stop. They're just gonna
No.
run right through my flames and just fuck me up. And sure enough, one of the flamethrower guys got bopped. Pretty sure they all got bopped actually, except for Tommy. So
Yeah, of course,
he,
yeah.
he had the plot armor protection on him that time around. But yeah, don't put a flamethrower on me in a zombie apocalypse.
I was gonna say,
think
yeah,
that'd
don't get
go
me
well.
wrong. Like if there's no weapons and it's flamethrower, I'll take that weapon, but not my key weapon. Even in video games, I feel like they can just backfire. You know, so
Yeah, no, it's I don't know. You don't get a lot of bang for your buck. I just feel like it's a slow damage over time that
mhm.
it's not going to protect you. You need like a shotgun blast. Like get the fuck away from me, not
Yeah.
like a big little flame them out. I mean, I thought the bloater was like not affected by it at all. It was just walking right through his flames, and then sure enough, with the power of plot armor, he was saved. Our dear boy Tommy. Beyond that, what else happened? Oh, who I think his name's Jesse. Jesse and Ellie, they come across the little pot farm thing going on. She's filling up her bag with some weed and got like a gas mask bong thing that she was taking back. It's funny enough, it's 420 today, so there you go. It all came together.
Really? No, it's not.
Today? It's 420. It's the fourth
January,
month.
February, March, April. Oh my God, it is. Because what's throwing me off is because today the twins are 5 months old, so I'm thinking it's the 5 as a 4. I just I've seen nothing about it being 420 like on my timeline.
I didn't
or
realize
anybody.
till like literally way in the afternoon. I was like, oh my gosh. And it's only because someone's birthday is the day before 420. That's how I remember it. And
Wow.
yeah.
There
I
you
forgot their
go.
birthday. So
Yeah.
apologies to that person.
I forgot a birthday too. Yesterday, there's somebody I was supposed to message. I messaged them today. I was like, "Oh,
So did
sorry, I
I.
was
There you
working."
go.
Yeah, and I still don't think they've looked at my message. It's like one of my oldest friends. Yeah, he
Fuck
hasn't
you,
looked at it.
asshole.
Yeah, pretty much. He hasn't looked at it. He was online at least 5 hours ago, and I sent him this message 7 a.m. So he's probably like, "Fuck this guy." I got
That's
5
funny.
kids, and I was working. I got the podcast, everything, WrestleMania. It's just tough. And I just don't use Facebook as much as I used to. Like
Yeah.
I try to use all social media less, but Facebook especially. I don't know, especially we're getting to election times and whatnot. You got enough awkward people. I'm like, oh, I can't unfriend you because you're like a family friend, but like I'm definitely gonna mute you right now because I don't need these reasons. Like just go vote and be quiet. So, yeah. Happy birthday, Jeff. Yeah. We'll return to that weed shop. If they go follow, not saying it's like that's where they break it. No, there's just like some fun stuff that happens there, so we should return there in the future. So.
Cool.
Yeah. Anything
And I
else?
also am excited to figure out who the fuck Eugene is because we are
Right.
just doubling down on this guy. 2 episodes in a row. People are very impacted by Eugene.
Yeah, Jesse was pretty like pro Joel though. Like, oh, you had to put him down, So it didn't
Yeah.
sound like it was like not that it wasn't sad, but wasn't like some people might be like, oh, is that the way I had to go? He seemed pretty distinct, like you have to do that. And then we
Yeah.
also got Jesse. I hope his name is Jesse. It's gonna be the Andy Adams situation
Yeah.
again. We had him do that kind of fun little moment with Ellie where he's like, you kissed her after a week and stuff. He's like, I know and stuff. And then but that was a really dick move. So
Yeah.
he knows they're all cool. Seems like kind of like what we talked about last week, that maybe they broke up because maybe she's not into dudes or not into as dudes as much as maybe she's into Ellie, right? So it doesn't seem like there's any like hard feelings between the two of them, and
Yeah.
especially after Joel dies, we don't need some sort of like, oh, and you're like my ex-girlfriend storyline.
I know
It's
you're
like
mad
there's-
because Joel died, but I know what you did to my girlfriend.
Yeah, I
Fuck
can't
it.
believe you. Yeah, like that would I would not enjoy a jealousy thruple storyline while we're burying Joel's
Jesse's
dead
the new
body.
villain over
Yeah.
Abby.
He gave Abby the information to get in there. So
Cool. No, I got nothing.
Oh, well, there you go. We will be back next week, and hopefully we got Dylan and Taylor, or even if it's not us, hopefully Dylan and Taylor are on there so we can get their thoughts because we got that. I don't know how it's going to be because, like I said, there's lots of flashbacks that haven't happened yet. There's stuff with Abby. I'm not sure if it's going to be one of those episodes where they show a bunch of stuff. I'm not sure if it's just going to be a classic, like, depressing episode where it's just all the characters dealing with the information, right? Like, Ellie, Dina, Tommy, other people, right? Like the fucking therapist. Like I don't know which we're gonna get next week. I could see them doing a very quiet episode because not only did you get a big, huge show-changing moment, you also had a massive battle, right? So you can't have
Yeah.
everyone being like, "Oh, another slow episode." Like this episode wasn't slow or anything. So I could see next week being a very drama-heavy, melancholy type of episode, and
Yeah.
then get into some other stuff. And I don't think it's a bad thing because usually the show has great writing, great acting. So you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We'll be back next week, and I promise you, it'll not be boring.
Bye bye.